All right, we are talking about mastering the franchise sales funnel from lead generation to closing deals. You're not going to want to miss any one of the episodes of this series.
This is the Franchise Pitfalls and Profit Show. Each week, we bring you the challenges and triumphs of being in the franchise development and consulting business. The things you need to make money faster. And now your host, one of the most successful franchise developers in North America, Don Shin.
Hey, I am so excited about this series. When I put this together, I just really started to think about all the different segments of the sales process, of the sales funnel. So we're going to today simply define what that funnel looks like. And then each one of the sessions after today, we're going to take one of the segments of the funnel and we're going to dive into that area. So this series is about learning proven strategies for optimizing each one of those segments or stages in the funnel. And the series is going to cover everything from getting high quality leads, nurturing prospects effectively, and then boldly and confidently closing those deals, getting your candidates to literally be running to the finish line to sign the contracts. So whether you're a seasoned pro in this business, in this field, or whether you're somebody fairly new in the industry, this is going to help you find actionable insights to boosting your conversion rates. And isn't that what you really want? Don't you want to generate more income either for your company, if you're an emerging brand, or as a FranDev rep or as a broker? Don't you want to make more placements and get more people into your systems and make more income? So anyway, that's another side subject of the psychology on that. So anyway, today, what we really want to do, again, is introduce the whole series. So we're diving in how to master the franchise sales funnel. We're going to emphasize some of the role R-O-L-E, role specific differences between you, whether you're, again, on the Zor side, the emerging brand founder still doing this, or the franchise development rep for the brand, or whether you're a consultant or a broker. So I'm going to go over some of those nuances over the course of the whole series. So let's start with simply understanding the whole funnel, or you may just simply call it a process. So part of the whole funnel, part of the whole process is lead generation. It's qualifying those leads. It's nurturing the leads, and it's making some forms of presentations. And then obviously you're trying to bring that sale to a successful close. So if you're the broker, you're handling leads for multiple brands. So you've got to have a broader knowledge of different industries. You're going to go general and more surface, and candidly, probably not all that deep. You act as the intermediary. You're going to help your candidates prioritize. You're going to help determine fit. I love to say you're going to find their transferable skills into specific industries that you find. You're going to match them with the brand's objectives. Once you start to narrow that down to 3 or 4 or 5 things you want to show someone. You want to try to, as best as possible, be a neutral source. You don't want to favor any particular brand, but you want to have great confidence in the fact that you found them 3 or 4 or 5 or maybe even 6. You have a very, very precise, strong, specific matching process, which includes interviews. It probably includes some form of a questionnaire. You may have them use assessments like a Zoracle assessment or DISC or Myers-Briggs. Bottom line is, the way I love to think about it is, you are the Match.com. You are the eHarmony of franchising. And you also don't want to have the mindset. Too many people in the consulting space have this mindset of, I'm passing the baton. I'm passing this person over to you, Mr. Brand Development Rep. No, I believe much of the value that you as consultants or you as brokers bring, much of that value indeed is actually in the later parts of the whole process. When they're actually working with the development rep, when they're discussing careers and purchases of a couple of different brands, you're going to help them through non-legal review of the FDD. How do they read this 300-page document? You're going to help them with going to validation calls. What's the best way to approach an existing franchisee? What are some of the questions you should be asking? You want to help them focus on things that the ZOR can't legally tell them. And then you've got discovery days. You want to help people prepare to go to discovery days. You don't want them to be shocked if a brand is the kind of brand that actually hands them a contract to sign, or is going to give them, 48 or 72 hours to make a final decision. You want your candidates prepared for whatever that brand is going to do in their discovery day. Now, on the franchise development side, you're focused and you're going to be selling a single brand. You're focused on aligning these prospects that you're receiving from the consultants. You're trying to align them with your franchise specific model. So I think you should be very concerned with the fit also. You should be very concerned to be sure they have the transferable skills that the consultant believes. But you're also going to share with your candidates the corporate growth goals. Why are they in a certain area? Why are you expanding in a certain area? What is the franchise brand's objectives for growth this year and the future for maybe 5 years? Are you going to be adding additional service offerings? Just what's the vision of that specific brand? That's your responsibilities. And then very, very important to the broker and brand relationship, very, very important, is working jointly together. When I was a master franchisee and multi-unit owner, I had about 23 or 24% of my sales were from referrals from consultants. However, within those sales, there were two consultants that I primarily made deals with. And it was because we got to know each other. We happened to be within driving distance, not really close. We were within about a 3 or 4 hour driving distance, but we got to know each other. We would break bread together, have meals together. We coordinated. We shared expectations expectations. We learned from each other. When I was new in the field, I had one of the top guys in the country from a broker standpoint. He would sometimes candidly kick me in the butt and say, Don, you need to do this and this with this candidate. But it helped me close deals with him and really, really learn this business. So you've got to get to know each other. This is a relationship business, not just with your prospects, not just with your candidates, but it's a relationship business between brand representatives and consultants, or brand representatives and brokers. So you need to be comfortable sharing information. You need to be focused on the candidate's desires together. You need to be jointly addressing any objections, any hurdles to the sales. Again, you want to team up on this. It's not an us versus them. It's not, oh, that broker's over there and I don't want to bother with him. I've seen brand reps do that. But if you really want to be successful in making placements together, if you as the brand representative really want to close more deals with consultants, you've got to coordinate. You've got to get to know them. You've got to coordinate. Now, I'll tell you, attention consultants, attention brokers, if you're sloppy with how you provide information to the brands, if you don't follow up with the brands, and some of this is for the brands, but I've seen this very much in the consulting space. I've probably seen it more on the broker consultant side than I've seen it on the brand reps side. Just a sloppiness, a lack of follow-up, a lack of detail. Sometimes, just flipping a lead with a basic amount of information. I've actually seen that. Sometimes being on the receiving side of the leads, sometimes candidly, I couldn't even get a hold of the lead. And that is your responsibility, Mr., Ms., Miss Broker. Do not pass someone to the brands unless they've committed to at least a couple of weeks of phone calls and a few hours of work with that brand and on that brand. If the person does not take the phone calls of the brand or of the developers, that's the mistake of the broker. That's the mistake of the consultant. So that never happened, candidly, with my leads when I've become a broker, and with my best relationships and the top consultants and brokers in the industry. When I was on the receiving side, that never happened. So work together, set expectations, share information, be professional, and follow up. Hang around for the next series. Keep your eyes out for the next step, the next segment in this series.